Welcome to Portland Metro Records presents Off the Record. I am so excited because we just finished our first show at Rock Hard for First Look, and we're going to be debuting Second Look this evening as well, so stay tuned for that. What I'm really excited about is we got a couple Seattle boys that came all the way down the I-5. We got ReaLife here, an amazing freaking talent. And then we've got DJ Eskro in the house. So I want to thank y'all for making the trip down here.
Thanks for having us, man.
You're welcome.
It's a hot day today. We're shooting on, Tuesday, and it's 100 degrees out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys survive the travel down?
Barely.
Yeah.
No AC in the car, man.
A couple stops here and there, had to refuel.
Just roll down the windows and grab a big gulp.
Yeah. Hot air blowing through the windows. It's just sweat.
Yeah, and you guys just came off a really nice show here. Was it last weekend?
Yeah, last week. We a couple shows last weekend. We did Bellingham on Friday, and then the next day we did the Nubian Jam in Everett.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you guys got a show that's coming up. It's the Thurston County Fair.
Yes.
And that's coming up in a couple days.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
this weekend.
Man, you guys are busy. I am so glad that you could fit us into our schedule.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, we go all the way back. We met last year
Yeah.
shooting the big band shoot where there was like 20 bands out there. Back, what was that, November that we shot that?
I don't know, but it was cold.
It was brutally cold. And then we met up at the club later and had a few drinks. And
That was fun.
That was fun stuff. So you got a new partner in crime with you today.
DJ Eskro.
Yeah. How'd y'all meet?
Through my cousin. She introduced us. This is my cousin's husband.
Oh, cool.
And she said, she hit me up and was like, hey, I want you to meet this guy. You know, I think you guys are really click really well. And when we finally linked up the first time, it's been ever since.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you guys together have been just pretty much just hitting the clubs for.
We've been
How many shows have you guys done together now?
lots.
Maybe 2 to 3 a week sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And plus, we work with a few other artists as well too. You know, so our group collectively, Crown the Kings, is active a lot.
Nice. And Crown the Kings is the collective that you all fall under.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you all have a radio station that you're getting ready to launch too,
Yes.
correct?
Oh, so the show's called All City Sounds on Hollow Earth Radio 104.9.
Okay.
It airs debuts September 17th. And we got DJ Eskro is one of the hosts on the show, along with Little Coco and the comedian Lige.
Wow. So is it going to be kind of just the introduction of you all, or do you guys have some talent lined up do you have some special guests lined up for the show?
We're working on that. We got a couple people that we have interest, like Seven the Panther maybe, and a couple other artists.
Yeah, so we're gonna do interviews, in-studio interviews, play local music. I have a couple segments on the show. Comedian Lige, he has his own stand-up gigs, so he's gonna do a little bit of comedy in there, and then gonna have a rocket to drop it, to introducing new music, to the scene. And it's all underground stuff too, no mainstream music, unheard of, probably cats you've never heard of before.
Like what we're doing right down here?
Exactly.
Sweet, it's
Exactly.
growing, man.
We're also going to have Little Coco, Coco Says.
That's awesome. This is gonna be a cool thing for y'all.
It's been a great little adventure so far,
Yeah.
and everybody's super excited about it right now.
And how about you for music? What have you been working on lately?
I got a couple new songs in the works. Been low-key working on the project. Haven't really been talking about it much. Some of my people, not even amongst my crowd, just because, every time I say I'm going to release something, it doesn't happen. So I'm just kind of low-key working in the studio on some music right now.
Do you think we might hear it at the First Look show on?
Absolutely. You're at least going to hear 2 or 3 songs.
That's gonna be great.
I've been low key. I've been performing the songs, just kind of test the waters, see what people vibe to them and whatnot. And so that's kind of how I've been picking and choosing what's going to go on the next joint. So.
Yeah. Well, truly excited about that. Going back a little bit. So you were all introduced by your cousin.
Yeah.
What has he brought to the table, and what have you brought to the table for each other so far?
What DJ Eskro brings, well, not only the music and everything, but this is my partner in crime. Like, for as far as Crown of Kings go, I'm the president, is vice president. You know what I'm saying? So he brings absolutely essential skill sets to the table. You know, he's a smart dude. You know, it's all about business orientated. You know what I'm saying? He's more of the money guy than I am. You know, and so I mean, we work together collectively really well. You know, and I couldn't do what I'm doing now without this guy.
I've been DJing for a long period of time, and then I started going to Evergreen State College for sociology, and I got my bachelor's degree in that, and then I went on to the music program, so I got a degree in audio broadcasting also. So we kind of just linked up at the right time, you know, to make this thing happen like this.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to be co-collaborating from here on out? Do you guys see yourselves as...
That's the plan.
Nice.
That's the plan. I told this guy and like, all the
Batman
people I work
and
with.
your Robin right here.
Well, and not even just us. I mean, yeah, essentially, but not even just us. Like I told all my people that, like, I want all of us to move in the same direction. You know what I mean? Like I said, we have a comic that we work with, Lige. We have another artist, Seven the Panther, that we work with. You know, Little Coco. We got my own producer, Thirds. You know what I mean? And all of us do everything almost together. You know, all of our shows, we travel together. You know what I'm saying? So this is bigger than.
It's a collective.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's bigger than that.
That's great. It's so cool that you guys could just come together like that and put this together and make it so special.
I was telling you, third time's a charm, man. I've tried this before, didn't work, but this group of people that I got now is real solid.
Yeah.
Real solid people.
Yeah, sounds like it. And music-wise, what's the track that's going to hit most close to home for you when you're up on stage?
Man, there's so many.
I know they're all like your kids in a sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the most popular one is Barricades. That's
I like the Barricades.
That's
Barricades. Yeah.
Like, it's undeniable. You know, it's been like doing really well so far. My personal favorite is one that's not on the last project. It's the next one. You know, I don't really want to shout it out yet.
Your newest one. Yeah.
You'll hear it at the September 6th. Yeah, the first look.
Nice. Nice. Now, do you guys have a kind of a fan base down here in the Portland area? Do you guys have some friends out here that are going to come out and...
This guy's got like 100 brothers and sisters out here.
Yeah, I got plenty of family out
So is it going to be like a
Plenty of
family reunion at the Rock Hard?
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
That's amazing.
I got a few relatives out here and friends out here, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and then your story is kind of interesting in itself because you come from a military family.
Yeah, my dad was in the Army.
Nice. Yeah. And you grew up in kind of a little bit everywhere, didn't you?
I worked all over Washington. I lived in Oregon, you know, a couple different times, but all over Washington. I lived in Chicago, California. You know, definitely a traveler, man.
And then you also lived in Guam for a bit too.
No,
correct?
that was him.
Or no,
Yeah.
you were
He was in Guam.
Yeah.
And your parents were military too, correct?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. And so how does living in the Northwest compare to being on an island?
It's a big difference. It's
Yeah.
a big difference. I mean, the weather's like it is today, nice and hot all the time, you know.
Yep.
But you know, that's basically where I started DJing at, was on the islands.
No kidding.
Because they have all the fiestas and things like that,
Sure.
and pool parties and stuff. And so I started DJing out there. Met this guy by the name of Rocky D. He was actually a neighbor of mine, and he was really good. And then I bought his equipment from him, and then I started DJing, and then I took it
It's
forward.
been on ever since.
How old were you when you started?
I started like at 17.
Wow. So your parents have been just supportive the whole way through, and
Sometimes. Sometimes. Turn that music down.
we all got that, didn't we?
Right. I got a lot of, why is that beat on repeat? Why you keep listening?
Oh, man.
Leave my speakers alone.
But I need extra. Oh man. So who do you cite as your biggest influences coming up?
Coming up,
Yeah, when you were first starting out, who was there, like somebody that you wanted to just, did you idolize, or was it just kind of
Red Alert, Red Alert, and Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, those are both my favorites. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, because he invented the chirp, and
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I idolize anybody, but I got the favorites. You know what I'm saying? But coming up from Washington, my influence was mostly local. you know.
Yeah.
Like Darius from Still Standard Entertainment, big influence on me. Luke Skywalker, huge influence on me.
I remember the first time I heard Luke Skywalker. I think everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
There's a certain track. We can't say it on the air.
Mostly local cats, but I'm a heavy J. Cole listener these days. Big Sean, some of those guys. I got crap for this the other day, but I still rock ODB. ODB's in my top 5. He's up there.
So I mean, this is dating myself, but when I was like 15, 16, the rap tapes and a lot of the metal tapes, most of that tapes were underground. Like, basically, you didn't actually buy them at a music store.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a copy for you, and somehow you got it. Mm-hmm. And that was the way it was for the first Beastie Boys song that I ever heard. Same thing with Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. It was a mixtape, and it was somebody's mixtape that came from somebody else. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of how it was for you when you were coming up?
Yeah, I used to have the CDR,
Yep.
right, with the Sharpie writing on it, and after at the Shell
So you were
station
so advanced, you had the CDR.
Yeah. So blank CDs, like begging, come on, please check it out, just buy it. It's dope. But we put work into the music.
Oh, yeah.
We put money into the music. It's just that at that time we weren't hip to like the marketing and packaging and all that stuff.
Nobody was.
So we was just out there like super overzealous with CDRs with Sharpie writing on them, but we got it out there a little.
Got
bit.
it out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting it out to the masses. That's the only way you can do it.
Right.
Right. Got to start from the ground.
mm-hmm.
So who does your poster art and all that stuff?
I do the graphics. I do most of the graphic designs, and have been for a few years now. I'm trying to train somebody else because I don't want to.
You're running out of ideas.
No, not running ideas. The creativity is always there. It's just there's so much going on now, that I can't always have time for that.
It takes a lot of work to do that, and you gotta have an eye for it, and you definitely come up with some good looking stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's like when one thing thrives, something else starts to suffer. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I'm trying to get back onto the music more now.
I totally get that. When you're writing, where does the writing come from?
Sometimes out of nowhere. Dude, I've literally woke up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and just wrote a few bars down and then went back to sleep. It just hits me random. Anytime I try to sit down and force myself to write, I don't really get nothing.
Yeah, I can't do that either. I can't sit there and go, I'm gonna write a song.
Yeah,
right
exactly. Now I'm going to do this. I'll be driving down the street and something will come to me and I might pull over, or I might recite it just over and over and over until I remember it and then write it down later. Yeah.
Now, Eskro, are you the same way, or are you more systematic when you're writing?
Well, I don't do too much writing unless I'm writing poetry or something.
Mm-hmm.
But as
But
it
still,
comes
when
to
you're putting those
sounds,
beats
when I'm
together.
putting the beats together,
Yeah.
it's just something that I feel. I just get a feeling for it, like it's just in me, like I can just feel it. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but it just comes inside of me, and I just like mix it. I guess it's got this thing when it comes to sound, not lyrically, but just the sounds itself. I
So
can put them together.
So when you're
he be
putting
trying
it
to rap.
together on the stage, like in a live situation, if you, because I assume you guys are performing together on stage,
Right.
do you know is the beat kind of a basic framework and then he starts filling it in, or is it something where you really don't know what he's coming up with till he comes up with it?
Sometimes he likes to throw out random songs.
I've always wondered that about hip hop and rap.
Sometimes we'll have a whole other set together, boom, 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 boom. Sometimes I might not be prepared as I should be, and Eskro will be like, okay, you're doing this one, and throw this one. So I
okay.
might not know what's coming next. Like we did a 18 and up show. I thought it was all ages at the time, right? But it was actually 18 and up. And I got this one song on, and I wouldn't have played it, you know, thinking that it was an all ages, but he just threw it on, and I was like, oh man, I kind of just went with it, and it worked out very well.
Nice.
Very well.
That's where that trust comes in, man.
Yeah.
That's where you gotta judge his read.
Yeah.
Trust his read.
Yeah. No, he's pretty good at that, though. Yeah.
Right on.
For the most part.
So do you guys have like, this is just kind of advice for the kids out there and for the people that are watching, when you're coming together, is it something where you guys are getting together on a weekly routine as far as putting jams together and beats and rhymes together, or is it more of a situational now that you've been working together so long?
We communicate constantly. We have a group chat on Facebook where everybody on the team is in there. We talk about everything from A to Z. We're always hanging out. You know, we go do things together. You know, we travel together. You know, we're constantly around each other. And so that really helps out. You know, that makes situations easier. Like I said earlier, I've tried this the third time that I've tried to, you know, create like an organization like this, you know, and this time around, I've realized that the right people, you got to have vibe. We was just talking about this on the way up here. You know what I'm saying?
Got to have at least good 5 people.
Right, that
Good
all have the
5
same
people.
goal. You know, same goal, same drive. You know what I mean? The same sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's where the success is going to come from. Plus the consistency with all those people. You know, so Third is always making beats. I'm always writing some music. 7 is constantly recording. You know, DJ Eskro is constantly. Cut that out. DJ Eskro is constantly out there on the search for new music to, you know,
That's
you know, the hood, man.
That's cool though. I mean, and like you say, you need that team of people that are like-minded, that are sharing that vision, and it is so freaking hard to find.
Dude, it is. Dude, it really is. And this year alone, we, you know, had to cut ties with a few people. You know, and then not because they're not because they're bad people. It's because we just don't vibe right together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to create the successes that all of us, you know, being able to communicate and work together without any kind of stresses, and, you know, the constant, you know, drama is detrimental.
Well, and sometimes, you know, letting that person go, it's not just helping you out, but it's helping them out, because maybe they got their own vision in their head of what they want to be, and maybe you're actually holding each other back.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I'm interfering. It's nothing personal, but I'm interfering with you. You're interfering with me.
Yep.
Got the same dream, but going different directions.
Yeah. Exactly. And anybody that's been in a band has gone through that, and it doesn't have to end a friendship. In fact, a lot of times you end up coming up with 2 divergent acts that are actually really strong, and then eventually you guys come back together and share a bill or share a show or whatever.
We see how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Now, you guys are going to be putting something together here in the studio today, correct?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
For sure.
I'm excited. This is going to be cool. This is actually, we've really kind of gotten adventurous here with Portland Metro Records presents Off the Record, because at first it was acoustic artists, and we didn't think that this TV studio really capture. You've seen like the bands, not to knock Saturday Night Live. I love Saturday Night Live, but the bands usually sound like crap on there. Let's be real. And this room has a little bit of magic in it, because we've had some acoustic acts in here. We had our first metal act with O3's premiere on here, and everybody sounded good. So I'm really excited to see what this sounds like.
Right on.
This is going to be awesome.
I think the sound's going to be great.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you all up here.
All right.
Up next, guys, we're going to have ReaLife and DJ Eskro performing for us all. Be good to each other out there. This is Portland Metro Records presents Off the Record, sponsored by Black Diamond Audio, Rock Hard PDX, Swag Nation, and somebody else whose name I can't remember. My apologies. Have a great night and be good to each other.
Off the record, ReaLife DJ Eskro, Crown of Kings Entertainment in the building. Shout out to Portland Metro Records for the support and the love. Yeah, come check us out September 6th. Hey, come on. Yeah. So many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Hey. Take my own lane on this road. Still I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Yeah. It's the realest thing I ever wrote. In fact, it's the realest thing I ever spoke. Take notes, make quotes, spread the word, please believe me. My final destination is your TV. Lost count of all the nights that I was sleep deprived. Pondering, do I chase dreams over 9 to 5? So many questions in my mind, ask them all the time, but everybody wanna know. Guess I had to wait in line. Been some plenty years waiting for the moment that I can show the world I make mistakes. I'm still growing, not know what's around the corner. Surely net the barricade, just taking all the striders with the OGs you can say. I try to heed their warnings every time I make a move. My kids and my freedom on my brain, I got a lot to lose. On the road less travel, nothing's impossible. Only you stopping you from doing you. Come on. Yeah. I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Put a barricade in front of me, I'm tearing down. Hey, take my own lane on this road. Still, I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Put a barricade in front of me, I'm tearing down. Yeah. DJ Eskro on the ones and twos. Hey. Show the people how you do, my man. Come on. Yeah. Crown of Kings Entertainment. Yeah. Come on. I spend my days on the mic, telling stories about life, but when the money's getting tight, I run the streets at night. On the road, out of town, I-5 southbound, sniffing out the money spots like a bloodhound. Slowing down's not a choice, not an option, not a factor. Pay my own lane, stay clear from backpackers and rappers, whacking the scenes from bad actors. I work hard for mine's always opposite of slack. Yeah. I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Put a barricade in front of me. Hey, come on. Make my own lane on this road. Still, I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Put a barricade in front of me. Yeah, come on. Make my own lane on this road. Still, I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Come on. Put a barricade in front of me. I'm tearing down. Yeah, make my own lane on this road. Still, I'm facing so many obstacles, but I refuse to stop and turn around. Put a barricade in front of me, I'm tearing it down, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so as promised, we've got the second take. It's the live audio and video from our first Rock Hard PDX show that was sponsored by Swag Nation PDX, Black Diamond Audio, and Rock Hard PDX. So I want to introduce them. It's O3s, and enjoy the live interview, enjoy the live outtakes. This was a lot of fun, and the next second take is going to feature from Seattle, ReaLife and DJ Eskro. Thank you all and have a great night. Introduce yourselves, boys.
My name's Ian, I'm play drums.
And I'm Sebastian, I'm vocals. Luke, bass player.
And I'm James, I'm the guitar player.
Well, we've been doing this build up here for a couple weeks now. You got radio play, you got television play, now you're going to get some stage play. What's the song that each one of you are looking to play tonight? What's the one you can't wait to unveil?
For me, Band Possession, just because it's really nice.
Nice.
Which is the one we played on the record.
So it's not really unveiling.
How about you, Sebastian?
You know, I actually kind of equally like them all. And so I'm excited just to play our set and just rock out and have a good time with everybody tonight.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Sweet. All right, well, let's tear it up, boys. Let's have a good time tonight.
Oh yeah,
Rob Wessel's Portland Metro Records presents Off the Record right here at Rock Hard PDX.
First look.
And you were digging deep in the rock pile.
Hey, I was trying to. Hey,
You had some smooth beats. You had some Beastie Boys in there. You had some Kiss. You had some...
Hey, you're only as good as the company you keep, and I had to follow some good bands, so I was like, boy, we ready to try and hit some 18 stuff in there, you know. And I enjoyed it, you know. It's good when you can come out, you can do a set, you can go around the world. You know, a lot of times you go out and play, you know, you basically play a lot of radio. But tonight it was like, all right, I'm just gonna play some good stuff, some good rock that I know, I like, and probably if I thought about it a little deeper, I probably would have came with a couple more. So I can't wait to have an opportunity to do it again.
Yeah, it was so fresh.
Hey, from the Hype Podcast, check me out, thehypepodcast.com, DJOSoFresh.com. You got the Twitter, OSoFresh. You got the Instagram, OSoFresh.
Right on. From Rock Hard PDX, this is Rob Wessels, DJ So Fresh, thanking Ozris and the Bar Pilots and Derek Smith and Tommy and everybody who helped out, including our man who's standing behind the camera right now, James Kemp.
James Kemp, right there.
And of course the Ramsey family came out and really made it happen. They are the minds behind Metro Records.
Definitely shout out to Shane.
Have a great night all. Be good to each other.
Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels.
If it's a tech geek or a beat freak or disaster in the heart of the day, if it's a news feed or a bad seed or another muzzle show in the way, and if it's cold, if it rains outside, if the market's gonna topple today, if I'm bold, if my brain's on fire, if I'm walking in or walking away, if it's staying